This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, my dear friend Vasio, answer is yes. For the lab purpose, you can just deploy one single controller. But please abstain yourself from deploying single in a production environment. Why is it so? It is because if you lose connectivity to one controller fails, then you will not be able to recover the configurations. So in a production environment, it is a risky.
Okay.
Good
So
question,
that's the
dear boss.
question. That's the question I'm about to ask now. That the use of 3 controller, is it for capacity purpose or redundancy purpose? So I think you've answered it by saying that it's redundancy, right?
Very good question. And my dear friend, absolutely your answer is right. This is predominantly for the purpose of redundancy. And for that, these controllers, they came along with RAID controller pre-installed in them. As we all know, RAID is what? Redundant array of independent or inexpensive disk, which is nothing but which is a way of distributing the configuration onto multiple disks. So these controllers, they do come along with the RAID controller pre-installed into them, and whatever configuration you do in one controller gets replicated onto other controllers. There is a concept called sharding. What is sharding? Sharding is nothing but it is a process of chopping the configuration and distributing the configuration onto different controllers. So what happens is whenever we do configure using any of the controller, the configuration gets sharded, and these shards are distributed as per according to the controllers. Hope you probably, if you guys have done RAID, I holistically believe that you must have gone through the concept called RAID. What happens in RAID? There is a terminology which is frequently used in RAID called striping, right? With distributed parity. I'm not going to discuss in detail what is a striping with distributed parity and who introduced this. But striping is nothing but it is chopping the data and distributing it among various disks, and by creating a parity bit, which is, for example, we all know a single.
One more thing. Sorry to bother you.
No problem. Go ahead.
My question is that APIC controller perform any traffic forwarding like?
Very good question, Gautam. Thank you so much. And answer is no. Let me clean this over here. API controller, our dear API controller, is not at all responsible for neither the data plane nor the control plane. It is just responsible for management plane. So no traffic forwarding, no route learning happens in the controllers if it is APIC controller. Gautam, does it answer your question?
Yeah, got it.
Okay,
Right.
yes.
So dear friend,
I also want to ask question based on my dear friend question now. So if you said that the APIC controller is just for management plane, right? So now, and I remember that you said if we are in production, we should use 3 APIC so that we will not lose our configuration. I want to believe that the configuration, whatever configuration that we did, should be pushed to maybe the switches. So how are we losing the configuration? How is it causing destruction on the network? I don't know if you get my question.
partially, I would like to repeat your question, and in case if you need to fine tune your question, please fine tune the question and then I'll give answer to your question. Okay, your question is about when we do the configuration in our controller,
Yes.
it pushes the configuration onto our ACI leaf and the spine switches,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
then you said how these configurations something. I missed that particular part. Can you just repeat?
Okay, so I now said that you mentioned that the purpose of having 3 epic is for redundancy sake, so that you will not lose your configuration if one goes down or something. If something happened to one of the epic, so that you will not lose your configuration. So I'm not asking that, since the configuration is not sitting in I mean, since the epic is not forwarding traffic, how is now user being affected if the epic goes down? User traffic.
Okay. So do you mean to say in case if all the 3 controllers they go down
Yes.
or one controller?
If 3 controllers go down, for example, now according to your explanation that it is just management plane, does it affect
Yep.
user traffic?
Very good question. Now
Traffic
let me tell
going
you.
to the server.
In case, right, any eventually happens and all the 3 controllers they go down, kindly be noted, all the whatever configuration being pushed so far, those configuration will stay in leaf and spine switches unless and until and as long as they are up and live. The configuration, where the configuration stays, we know that the devices they have RAM, right? Random access memory, which is a volatile memory, right? So unless and until the device is up and running, the configuration stays over there. But in case if device gets reboot, device means any leaf or the spine switch, right, gets rebooted, the configuration will be lost and will not be recovered in the leaf and the spine switch. So it is a
Okay.
very risky state in case if all the 3 controllers they fail.
Okay. So what that, sorry to bother you to ask further question. I just want to understand, to have the clear picture. So what that
Feel free.
means is that if I get you correctly, what that means is that all the leaf and spine switches, whatever configuration that they retain, they cannot retain it after a boot.
You are right.
So
After
that means they don't
reboot,
have MVR, I mean MVRAM or something, where like something like what do you call it?
startup configuration.
Startup config. Yeah,
And
thank you.
they don't have that. They have,
Okay.
they are not the repository of the configuration. They don't keep the
Okay.
configuration permanently with them.
Okay. Now I understand. Thank you very much.
You are very well welcome, my dear friend Vasio. All right. So guys, I will not take much time of.
Sorry to interrupt you. I do have one question here. Why do we require three? Why not two? Because if for redundancy, I think two is also okay, right?
Absolutely. This is Cisco's strong recommendation. Very good question, that you have asked me, Neeraj. And I'll give you just a very layman's answer to this question, right? Technical answer, yes, is there. If I say that we are using RAID mechanism, right? RAID mechanism says they're striping with distributed parity. In that, and I would like to give you one equation. Equation is A is equal to B plus C. What does this equation mean? What we have learned in this equation means in case if in these 3 variables, in case if any one of the variable, right, is missing, then with the help of 2 variables we can find it. In case if we have B and C, we can easily find out the value of A if we know what is A, what is B? B is A minus C, right? So what does this means? The concept says the controller, the RAID concept says that for the purpose of redundancy, we have an algorithm running, and that algorithm says that because we are going to chop the configuration into various chunks called shards, so we want to distribute these shards, guys, the terminology is shards, right, into 3 controllers. Even if you give 2 controllers, then it's fine, but 3 controller is the best option, where the distribution of the configuration can be properly done, because we have to make sure a parity bit is created. And the concept, the RAID concept says, for the purpose of parity, striping with parity, not a distributive parity, striping with parity, they used to have a simple parity disk. If you know about the storage concept, this concept of striping with parity means you need to dedicate one disk for the parity, but it is a distributed parity. So distributed parity says that we have to distribute. V means the algorithm which is running. The algorithm's requirement is to distribute the shards into 3 different controllers. That's the reason Cisco suggests minimum of 3 controllers for the purpose of recovering the lost data. One more thing I would like to add over here. In case out of 3 controllers, you know what? Suppose if one controller fails, then you will have read and write still available. But in case if in a cluster of 3 controllers, if 2 controllers they fail, then the third leftover controller will only have read only access. This means
Okay.
now you will not be able to do it. This happens when you already had a cluster, and in the cluster some of the controllers they fail. But if day one you have a single, then it's fine. Okay, I'm sorry in case if I have gone deep into it, but this is based on an algorithm which is running inside the controller that requires the requirement of 3 controllers minimum.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay,
Ashish, sorry to interrupt. This is Sudhir.
please go ahead.
Yeah, I did post one question. So, are these controllers are PM form factor or physical servers?
These controllers are physical servers. These controllers by Cisco, right? They belong to
Okay.
Cisco UCS, Unified Computing System C series
C series servers.
servers.
Okay.
Absolutely,
And
they are
okay.
C
Okay.
series servers.
C series servers. Okay, fine. They're rack servers, not the blade servers. Okay. The
Absolutely
next question
correct.
is, yeah, the next question is you're explaining about these 3 controllers, why we need 3, right? Okay.
Now that's what I was
So,
explaining.
yeah, so
Simple
we do
answer.
have the same concept as carried out in NSXT as well. We do have 3 controllers, 3 managers. Okay. So for us, also we use a threading mechanism, the same threading mechanism there also to get the load assigned for each controllers, spine and leaf, what are the controllers which is going to take care of it. Okay. The simple way of getting this done is to get the high availability of the management plane. If you have only 2 controllers, you'll get the only 50% availability when one controller loss. If you keep that in mind, when you have 3 controllers, you'll get 66.5% availability of it all the time. Even if you have 2 controllers loss, then you'll not have any availability, right? So one and one will be 50%. If you have 3 controllers, the availability case will increase, and also the redundancy and the performance point of management plane also will be increased. So that's how it works in
That,
NS60.
that is absolutely right. And inside story is the algorithm which all of them they go for. And
Yeah,
even
correct.
you know,
That is the algorithm used to manage number of spine switches and number of leaf switches, I believe, in this case, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. So whether it is NSXT or whether it is Epic, right? In case of an NSXT, you install this NSXT server in the virtual machines, but over here we have a dedicated server, but the
C series.
inside mechanism or the algorithm is same. That's the reason the 3 is the best for production.
Okay, got it.
Right? Okay. So any other question, guys? Feel absolutely free. Let's make this session as an interactive session. Okay. So since the question about how the server looks like, I will just give you a glimpse of the server, will not explain you each and every port, the purpose, how it works and all. And then I would like to give you a fair idea of all the different labs, what we are going to do, because it is a 1 month long journey. So, well, we will be talking about the servers, models and all, and where all these controllers they can integrate with. And yes, you can see over here vSphere client, vRealize, and so on. It is highly integrable. And I would like to show you the server, and then we will go for, anyway, in this particular journey we will be talking about leaf spine switches and all, since the question about server has come. So our server, yeah, this is the concept of sharding. Why? This is also the answer of why 3 controllers, right? So there I will explain you why 3 controllers. What happens when we have 3 controllers? Okay. So but about yeah, this is the how our API controller looks like. This is actually a Cisco UCS C series server, a rack server to be deployed. How many U's? 1 RU. Simple, small, sleek. Available in which ways? Medium or large. Which version? Currently version 3. So today if you want to buy server, it will either be M3 or L3. L3 is large, M3 is medium. Large means when you have a good number of leaf and, that is good number of leaf and spine switches, say 2 spine switches and more than 80 leaf switches. In case if you have 2 spine, minimum 2 spine and more than 80 leaf switches, then Cisco recommends you to go for L3 controller. If you have lesser than 80 leaf, up to 80 leaf switches, Cisco will say, all right guys, you can go for M3 or a medium. What is the difference? This is an internal hardware architecture difference in terms of memory, in terms of its RAM, CPU, etc. Right? So this is what, anyway, since lot of things are there, will not be able to cover everything in just 1 hour. So I would like to give you a glimpse of now what different labs in ACI we will be doing, and where we will move over to advanced ACI. So I will just give a pause to this. Would like to jump over to the labs. You can see, guys, 499 slides. Don't worry, I'm not going to cover this, all these, everything about 499 slides. Well, would like to show you about the labs and how many labs are going to be there, and just based on how much deep you want to go inside ACI. Guys, 10 labs you can see, but no, we have more than it. We will be talking about the labs wherein we will assume that our leaf switches are connected to the hardware devices. Not this. I need the pen. I need pen. Where is my pen? Yeah, not the laser pointer. Yeah. All right. We will be talking about when the switches are connected to the physical servers, how to do the connectivity. We will be talking about how when our leaf switches One is this connectivity. There will be, in fact, all these labs, right, except one lab, which is based again on the physical connectivity. We will be talking about how to do the configuration in different scenarios when our leaf switch is connected to a server and there are virtual machines, which may be either a single host or a server or virtual appliance. Example, firewall or the load balancer. So we will be performing in all these labs the connectivity when our leaf switch is connected to a server. This server may be a VMware hypervisor or a Microsoft Hyper-V or any other hypervisor. And we have the virtual machines or virtual appliances on top of it. So how to do the configure over this and how to make sure that one virtual machine is able to talk to another virtual machine which may be connected to a different leaf switch. So in all these labs with regards to different network topologies, which is logical topology changes, alterations, modification, we will be learning the configurations. So I'll just give you a glimpse of, how the logical topology looks like. This is a logical topology wherein we will be talking about what is tenant, what is VRF, bridge domain, application profile, endpoints, and all, and how to establish communication between them when they are in the same box, last box called EPG. What is this? We will be talking about. We will be talking about the relationship between this box to this box to this box, and what this box does. We will be learning about whether the relationship between this box called bridge domain with VRF is really important or not. What if it is not connected? So in the course of various labs, right, we will be modifying our topologies. Guys, there is a background noise. I can say, if you don't mind, uh, Rayon, it is from your side, dear friend. If you don't mind, can you go on mute? Or if you wish, I can mute you. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. So I'll explain you how the physical connectivity is there, how to do the configurations. We will talk about the legacy versus the modern way of doing our ACI configuration. Well, explanation will be a transformation from the legacy, that is CLI way, to the modern, that is the GUI way of doing the configuration. We will be learning that. All right. And the topology, and we will definitely be doing the lot of modifications in the topology. We will see how the endpoints they move inside the, from the physical, we can move them inside a logical topology. And let me show you the change in the topology. So here there is a slight change in the topology, and based on the change we will be learning how to make sure that the guys can talk to each other. All right, so let me show you some few more topologies. Like this is a deep dive into the ACI, the traffic flow and all, using the CLI access level. Okay, well, we will be learning about the server virtualization concept, and here, my dear friend Sudhi, you from NSXT, you will be able to understand how we do it. We will be learning how to push the switches on top of this blah blah blah, sorry, in a single class connectivity, and physically how do we connect and all the stuff. Let me jump over to what I am actually looking to show you. One topology, is it this one? No. All right, let's take this one. This is one of the lab called intertenant. In this particular lab, instead of having one single box, right, we'll create two boxes, right, two major boxes, and in between them there will be a hierarchical arrangement of various other containers. The ultimate objective of this topology will be to make sure that this guy not only can talk to this guy, but these guys can also talk to each other. There are various modifications, right, configurations which are required, which we will be doing in this. All right, this will be just the beginning, right, or you can say the end of our basics, and then we will move over to our some of the advanced topologies. And what are those? In terms of some advanced labs, we will be talking about ACI, multipod, and multi-site as well. Guys, if you probably know, oh, this is Python. Python comes after ACI, very important for ACI. So I want to bring in front of you the multi-site. There is a beautiful multi-site hands-on lab which you guys will be provided to practice on. Multi-site is nothing but it is when we do have got two different, right, physical ACI fabrics having their own independent epic clusters, but we want to configure them from a cloud based controller. That is, in order to configure the fabric over here and its internal logical components, from our epic controller we can configure from our cloud based controllers called multi-site orchestrators, or also called multi-site controllers, or can be called as multi-site policy managers. We have a lab on it wherein we will understand how the configuration can be there. This is going to be our multi-site lab, an ultimate and advanced lab which will help us. But before it, we will be doing one more, in which one more lab called multi-pod lab. In case of a multi-pod lab, the physical topology will be like this, but let me clean first of all. All right, we will be creating one common scaled up cluster between the controllers which are spread across two different physical locations. These physical locations can be within the same building, on different floor, or in between different building in the same city, or any other location which is connected to each other with a latency of less than equal to 50 milliseconds. All right, that is nothing but that is called multipod. In multipod, yes, multipod lab topology, controllers are not there. Okay, I would like to keep my pen down, would like to give leverage to you people to ask questions, because I can't take more than the requested time from you guys. And meanwhile, let me welcome all those friends who joined us in between. Admin, thank you so much for joining. Your name is, you can write your real name. Arit, welcome. Chiranjit Das, Divendu, Kuldeep, Rajita, Ramesh, Siddhant, and Tejas. Guys, welcome to all of you. So now let's begin our question and answer session. So in case if you have any question, any doubt about what all we are going to learn, study, any apprehension if you have about the lab, etc., please feel absolutely free. I would like to show you by being very honest and transparent. Please go ahead if you have any question.
Yeah, I do have a question here. After completing this course, I mean, are we able to clear the certification of Cisco ACI, or
After
is
Yes, very good question. Cisco ACI has a certification called DC ACI. After completing it, you will be more than prepared to crack that particular certification. Of course, that certification is a theory certification, and I'm sure with the proper hands-on, you will be able to crack that.
okay? And are we getting the recording also of the session, all of the session, or how to do like that?
Absolutely, a very good question, Neeraj. For this, Stringnet.com, Stringnet Solution will provide you an access. Let me show you the access. Stringnet has a website
Mm-hmm.
called stringnet.com. In this particular website, when you will enroll, we will request you to sign up. In sign up, you will provide your complete credentials. You will create your own password and submit it. Once you are done, you will get a login access. In the login access, your email account and your password, and you can log in into that. Once you log
Okay.
in into it, you will have your profile created. Under my courses in your profile, we will assign you Cisco ACI course. Under this Cisco ACI course, you will get all the class recordings,
So
including from the introduction till the advanced, all the class recordings you will be happen to see, including multi-site. Besides getting the class recordings, not downloadable, right? You
okay.
will get the lab workbooks right over here with regards to all the labs which you will be doing. Okay, and the
Mm-hmm.
other study materials like troubleshooting guides, the cookbook, the various protocol books, information, troubleshooting guide, interview questions, and etc. Various deployment guides as well. And also, we would request you to go to this particular tab called feedback tab to provide regular feedback about the trainer at me, right? In case if I am the culprit, you don't want to speak on my face, you can give the feedback. We'll go to the management, any complaint, right? Appreciation, compliment, whatever, that will be there. So it's going to
So
be there. Yes. A short
that will
answer to
be
your
life.
question.
Yeah, that will be lifetime
Yeah.
access of this everything, right? Of the course,
Uh, it will
or is
be,
there any
see,
time
one thing,
limitation?
any time, not till the course is going on, anytime you want to access it, you will be able to access. By default, the website developer has set a minimum hours of 40 hours to access the lab videos. In case if your access is gone, you just need to contact our coordinator and he will extend your access as
Okay,
long
so
as you want.
okay. So in our
Plus
lab,
one more thing.
how many leaf and switches that we are going to be use?
Okay. Before it, let me tell you, probably you are being informed, else you will be informed that your enrollment to stringnet.com will be a lifelong enrollment as long as the version is going on. Anytime, even after the completion of the course, you want to redo the course, you will be able to do the course. You just need to drop a message or a mail to the coordinator and he will provide you class access to the
I
any
didn't
other
get
time.
you. Means anytime. You mean that we can be allowed to join again, or we can be able to access this? The training session.
You about the videos, it is
Okay,
24 by
okay,
7,
understood, understood.
right? 365 days available. As far as training session is concerned, anytime, right? If you want to
Mm-hmm.
join, if you want to recap your training sessions, live training sessions, that is also allowed. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Next question. Next answer to your question. Your next question was how many leaf and spine switches and how many controllers. In the lab, which we will be providing you, there will be 2 spine switches, 2 leaf switches, and 3 controllers. Right?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
next question. You wanted to ask another question.
Okay. And what will the timing
Okay.
of this class
I have a couple of
every day?
questions.
What your timing?
Okay.
See, the time will be morning 5:30 a.m. till 7 a.m. IST, Monday to Friday. And the batch will start,
I'm not able to hear. I
of
don't know
batch.
the network is from my end or your end. I'm not sure, but I'm not able to hear.
Okay, you were asking about the batch timings. It will be morning 5:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. IST.
Okay. It's
GMT,
morning 5:30
right?
a.m. to 7 a.m. Okay.
Yes,
So is it a 5-day course?
it is. Yes, Monday to Friday, 5 days course. Not 5 days course, 5 days. It is a month-long course, not just a 5 days. It is 1.5 hour session every day and spread across more than a month.
No, you said 5:30. The class starts from 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., right?
No, 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 no. 5:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Not p.m. Did I say p.m.?
Oh,
If yes,
oh, okay. Okay, so one and a
Okay.
half hour every day.
Yeah.
one and a
Okay.
half
I
every
have
day.
I have a couple of questions. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Hello.
yes.
Am I audible? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have
Yeah,
some.
you are.
Yeah. Apart from this timings, I have some couple of technical related questions. Okay. First, would like to know that whether when you say that we have a couple of lips spine switches. First, I would like to know whether first I'm asking about multi-pod and multi-sites lab, whether it will be performed on the D cloud or it will be specific to your lab environment only.
It
So
will be
according,
performed on D Cloud.
it will
All the
perform on.
labs will be performed on D Cloud. And
So
in
how will
fact,
make sure? How
multi-pod,
will? Yeah, I have sub question. Sorry to interrupt you. Sub question in that. So how will manage it basically that because D cloud you need to register for specific and then how it is whether it is manageable for your miss. I don't know miss whether how miss it will be happen live in the live class only. So we'll be for example we are attending the batch Monday to Friday. So we'll log in all together for 14, 15 members are there. All will log in into D cloud in your account and then along with that we'll conduct the lab. Likewise, how it happens?
okay. See, when class is going on, what I'll do is before beginning the class, I will book the lab in D Cloud,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I will give you demonstration in the D Cloud lab. You just
Mm-hmm.
have to watch the demonstration. When you
Fine.
want to practice, if you have access to the D Cloud, then you can practice the same lab yourself. In case
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have access to the D Cloud, then I will book the lab and will provide you access to the particular lab. D Cloud also gives authorization, right? Wherein I
Mm-hmm.
can authorize you to book the lab yourself anytime as per your convenience. But there is a caveat to this, and the
Yeah, I
caveat
know.
is
Understand. Yeah, go ahead, please.
very
Sorry.
good.
Yeah, I understand it, but normally the main problem is that only. Means when I previously tried that D cloud, normally you don't get the slot and all. We were struggling a lot while getting a slot for especially for multi-pod and multi-site labs. Okay, so I see I'm a target audience of CCI data center lab. Okay, and want to sharpen my knowledge on ACI side. Okay, that is my purpose to if I join this session or join this class, that is my motto. Okay, intention. So that's what I'm asking this question. Okay. And second question is about you mentioned that whether we'll work on an underlay as well as we or will only focus on specific to ACI tasks. This question is basically like whether we'll start from the config VNI, multicasting, and BGP EVPN between the leaves and as well. This is question. My question.
Okay, Tejas, this is a very good question, and this question should be asked in this way: whether we are going to cover VXLAN, MPBGP,
Yeah.
EVPN,
Yeah.
right? Currently in the morning batch, 5:30 a.m. The batch VXLAN, MPBGP, EVPN is going on. If you are interested joining VXLAN, probably you didn't get the previous broadcast about this advertisement. So currently the batch is going on. If you are interested, you can join that particular batch from Monday, because the lab demonstration wherein everything regarding the configuration, explanation,
Mhm.
everything is included over there, but not in ACI.
Not in
That is a
SCA.
separate course altogether.
Oh. So how, if I would like to see what exactly means, what is the overall outline of that particular course, then how to approach you?
What I can do is, on Monday, you can join my batch in the morning 5:30, wherein I can give you live. Otherwise, I will request the coordinator to share a demonstration video. What all do I cover in VXLAN? He will share the demonstration video with you, and you can watch that as well. The third is, if you want to discuss with me offline after this, I would love to do that as well, wherein I'll explain you everything in VXLAN, whatever I cover,
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
along with the labs. Well, I would like to tell you that in dcloud VXLAN, 3 different labs on VXLAN is available,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you are really interested doing those labs, I would love to help you,
Okay,
right?
definitely.
VXLAN,
I will.
so you can
And
find out there are beautiful labs available in dcloud.
got your point. Thank you. And third question, and
Yeah.
third and last from my side, is that
Hmm.
the rest of the points you discussed, like configuring specific things like a tenant bridge and bridge domain and VPC configuration, everything. All those labs will be happen on again on the cloud, or it will be on actual devices.
Well, there are 2 things.
Hmm.
I will give you demonstration of all the labs in the dcloud, but dcloud
Mm-hmm.
has a caveat, and the caveat is
Yes.
the absence of data plane. So I will not be able to show you the data plane communication in dcloud.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have mitigated this particular challenge with regards to one lab, wherein I will show you that how 2 different virtual machines we can communicate, but it is with some challenges and by doing some workarounds. When it comes to demonstrating you the data plane communication, I do have my previous class recordings wherein I used to demonstrate using the physical devices. I will explain you the configuration and will show you the communication between the endpoints using those recordings of mine. I I am over there and I will explain those in the class to you
Okay,
and will
but there
show
will be
you as
no. Uh, okay, but there will be no opportunity to actually to get chance to our hands dirty, means to lab up things on ACA specific. Is it
in
or it will
ACI.
be?
When
Yeah,
yes,
please go ahead.
in
Sorry.
ACI, specifically when it comes to data plane communication, my apologies, AC for ACI, dcloud has not provided us this leverage, right?
Okay.
So you
Okay.
cannot, you know, do it. I'm sorry for that.
Understand. No problem. Yeah.
Okay, Ashish, what is the course fees for this ACA and
Uh,
VXLAN?
well, for I would like to hand this request to the coordinator. Coordinator will come back. Will get back to you on this. And probably I think
Okay.
it is published in the poster if you have received it. Mention over there. I'm sorry. I'm not the monitor.
Okay. Is somebody going to contact me because I have already shared my details?
Yes, definitely. Post this particular session, yes, you will get a communication mail wherein about the commercials, etc. You can discuss. Yes, you will be contacted.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome. Any other question from anyone?
So, yeah, can you show us sample lab book, please?
Yes, sure. Why not? Let me show you the workbook. I will be sharing the workbook with you in the PDF format, but the sample workbook for dcloud multi-site which is the one of the most advanced lab. Can I show you that?
Yes, sir, please.
All right. So, well, this is actually I'm going to use to explain you the multi-site ACI multi-site configuration, how we do it, covering altogether 221 slides. But don't worry, huh? Wherein in this, for example, I'll explain you all the configurations. I will give you all the configurations, right? CLI, because multi-site requires some initial CLI based configurations. All the configurations are given. The explanation of what is multi-site, the benefits, the terminologies, points to consider before we start, limitations and caveats in the specific lab. Well, the very first page of this particular, right, will give you the name of the lab. Guys, one thing, let me tell you, when it comes to multi-site, it is very advanced. The multi-site is available in Cisco's new tool called Nexus Dashboard, right? And this is the name of the lab in case if you want to book. I'll show you how to book this particular lab as well. So the glimpse says all this, wherein I'm going to tell you how you are going to log in into the device, what are the different passwords, usernames, right? Which link you need to click first of all, the topology and the scenarios. For example, scenario number 1, 2, 3, 4, and what we are going to do in each and every individual scenario. So first of all, I will be giving you a demonstration, step-by-step demonstration, and once it is done, you are comfortable, the same lab workbook you will be able to get from the stringznet.com portal. You can download. So in this particular lab, if you see the explanation, green glowing images are nothing but this is what we want to configure. I have shown you all the screenshots, right? Explanations will be there in the live class, right? What is this? What is this? Just the screenshots for the sake of your convenience, that you should not get confused. By just going through the screenshots, you'll be able to understand, provided you have attended the live session. And then day 0 infrastructure configuration, what all you need to do. First of all comes the explanation, what we are going to do, and then where we need to do the configurations with the icons and all, how to log in with the username and the password, and the steps. So this is just a glimpse of one of the workbook. This is the screenshots are there in the workbooks, which are new workbooks. In the previous workbooks, I have presented my workbook in more in a diagrammatic form, where I will explain you, I'll give you the flow of the configuration. The example, let me show you. This one, right? The one which I was discussing earlier, and I probably need to go. Okay. For example, one of the advanced lab, DHCP relay in ACI, right? If you want to go through it. So what and how I'm going to present the topology. By this time, I do assume that as far as basic configurations are concerned, you guys are comfortable. So if I give you the topology and with the previous labs, right, previous 9 labs, you will be comfortable in setting up this topology. Here, I believe that I need not tell you how to set up this topology. I'll just give you some basic instructions in the lab workbook. When it comes to configuring, say in this particular lab, if we are doing this lab, we need to configure the Linux server for the DHCP services as well. So I will give you the configurations for that with the proper explanation and how to troubleshoot and all, and then again say the screenshots. So different lab workbooks are there with different kind of presentations, but I'm sure you will be more than comfortable to do the labs. Yep, this is my answer to your question.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You are welcome. Any other question? This question was from Rajita. Any other question, guys, from anyone? Okay. If no question, then thank you very much for joining, and I'll make sure that our coordinator get back to you. The batch will start next week. Why is it there will be a delay? Because currently in this particular timing, another topic is going on. As I said, VXLAN, and in case if any one of you is interested in joining VXLAN and our other technologies with regards to data center, you guys are more than welcome. Just show your interest to the coordinator and he will share with you the details of our other technologies we are covering in data center, right?
One
So
more
still
thing,
the window is
one more thing is based on your experience and how good experience in the ACI domain. So, do we get any kind of knowledge sharing session in the for the real life scenario basis over here? Because
so, you
normally in the
know,
real life scenario, yeah.
whatever I do teach based on my knowledge and experience. During the
Okay.
session, yes, I do respect, the privacy contract which we do have with my profession, with my company. So
Mhm.
regarding anything related to my customers, I don't discuss any document, I don't open any document, HLD, LLDs, etc., right? But whatever I will percolate, that is going to be there altogether from my experience.
Okay. No, I'm
So
not
but
saying that. I'm not saying like that that you have to be share or you have to tell us about the project, what is going on there. It's just based on that your experience, like somehow the name of X project, and we are getting something like that. So by that way, I'm saying like I'm not
absolutely,
saying to
absolutely.
disclose. Yeah, yeah.
No, absolutely,
Maybe you
absolutely.
have been encountered so many issues during the setup of the ACA into the greenfield environment. So based on that basis, I'm saying that. So it would be good
It's
if you share this kind of thing.
indeed, it's going to be there. It's going to be there.
Okay.
And it's quite obvious,
Yeah.
whatever knowledge I'm going to percolate, that's going to be, as I said, based on my knowledge and experience. Experience means my working experience, means whatever I have seen done in ACI.
Okay.
Okay, all
Ashish,
right.
one quick question. Sorry. Yeah. All the information related to data centers stuff is available on your portal website. Is available, or I need to connect with coordinator? Is the only option to get the information about
Uh,
your courses?
well, once you will enroll, for example, if you enroll for the
Hello,
entire data center, you will get
am I audible?
access to all. Yeah. So, Tejas, you're audible, right? Say, in case if you enroll for our entire data center course covering various technologies, yes, you will get access to all the course materials. But in case if you're enrolling for ACI, you will get access to the ACI course material. But yes, with regards to all the technologies in data center, we do have available on our portal.
Okay, thank you. We'll refer over there. Sure, thanks.
You are welcome. Any other question? Uh, Shamim has asked a question about if I'm new to this issue, for which topic will I start to learn? All right. Shamim, if you are new to this ACI, my dear friend, in that case, you are comfortable about the routing and switching, including the routing protocols, layer 2 communication, layer 3 communication, IP addressing, multicast, then you can start with ACI. If not, then you have to make comfortable. But I should say the predecessor to ACI, the technology which is predecessor to ACI is VXLAN. So I do say you should join from VXLAN.
Do you think without VXLAN knowledge, we not able to the ACI course? Is it something?
Not at all.
What is
Not at all. Not at all. Why I say VXLAN? Because VXLAN is configured by default and that too automatically in ACI. If you know how the VXLAN works, in that case, the troubleshooting part of ACI will be more comfortable to you. But this particular course is not on troubleshooting ACI. This is implementing ACI. So understanding VXLAN is not a mandatory, not at all a mandatory, but it is good if you know VXLAN
okay? Okay.
because
So that
VXLAN
can be
topology.
covered later. So that can be covered later also after doing the ACI. If we go for
Yes,
VXLAN
indeed.
too, right? Okay.
Absolutely, indeed. You can do VXLAN later on as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Well, any other question? I can see our dear friends are dropping. Eduardo, do you have any question? Eduardo Macado. All right. And anybody else?
No, Ashish, I'm good. So I'm looking for that course fee details and the batch starting dates.
Sure,
Okay.
Ramesh.
Thank
We'll
you.
get a
Thank you so
call.
much.
We will get a call for the from the coordinator, or do we need to contact from our end? How's that?
Well, I will make sure that you will get a call from the coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Ashish. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Okay, I'll drop for now.
Definitely.
Thanks for the demo. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you, Ramesh. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you, Sam.
everyone.
You
No
need to
question.
dropping. Yep.
Then
Okay. Bye.
let's drop off. Let's sign out and let me wish a very happy weekend to all of you. Enjoy Saturday and the Sunday. Thank you
Thank you.
very much.
Same to you. Yep. Bye.
You hope to see you in the course starting next week. Thank you very much. Bye.